Angela, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, hi, thank you so much for joining us today. I am sorry. And for today's video, we are going to be piggybacking off of the last video. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend go check it out. Moral of the story is a few weeks ago, my husband and I discovered a leak in our basement. And by basement, I mean we live in a split level home. And so our lower level is half basement, half like not fully underground. So we do have like windows, like full-size windows and natural lighting down there. But in one of the areas, there's a very thin crack that caused a leak after a really deep freeze here in Ohio, and then lots and lots and lots and lots of rain that, followed afterwards. In the last video, we ripped all of the 1970s paneling down and exposed all of the poured concrete for our foundation, basement foundation, to see exactly where a leak was happening, as well as if there's any potential spots where it could possibly leak in the future, just to further waterproof our already finished basement. With that being said, we were already planning a renovation down there anyways to make it feel more like us and to get it more functional for us as well. But this definitely fast-tracked all of that. We are now a couple weeks into those renovations, so I thought I would just sit down with you and kind of help like describe the vision for the rooms. Now I have it all up in my head. I have a little bit of it in this notebook I purchased. I will link this down in the description below. It's just a graph paper notebook from Amazon, but I kind of have like some lists going on, as well as I sketched a built-in just to start getting some ideas. And so let's talk about it all. All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to share with you guys what I like to call my mood boards. So I touched on this when we did the walkthrough of our new home. The home was built in the 60s. There has been some minor changes, since then, but a lot of it is pretty original. We did buy it from the original owners who had the house built. I want to keep some traditional elements, more so than mid-century modern, which you would have found a lot more of in the time period. So I do lean a little bit more traditional, but with a modern take, and definitely more modern colors. With that being said, in the overall feeling of the home, we're going to be playing with a lot of contrast. In most of the home, we're going to have creamy white walls, and I will continue that down into the basement. I'm really in love with this color called Creamy Mushroom. I actually have like my three main colors here laid out in my notebook. These are just swatches from Home Depot is where I grabbed them. So we're doing Swiss Coffee, which I did already use in the pink bathroom renovation. We are going to be using Creamy Mushroom for a lot of the trim work in the house. Not all, but a lot of it. And then black is also like our main color kind of running through. I'll eventually incorporate it into our staircase and our front door when we get to that point. For design purposes down in the basement, it will be on the doors down there in the hallway. So some things that we are going to be looking at accomplishing. We have already ripped up all the flooring. We had to, because where the water leaked in, it got into the carpet, and I didn't want any mold to happen. We did catch the leak within the day of it happening, so there wasn't really any mold present. We immediately ripped it up. It needed replaced anyway, so we were planning on doing that. Again, it just kind of sped up the process, if you would. The top half of the wall is a lighter color, but I do want to just give it a fresh coat of paint. So we are going to be utilizing that Swiss coffee color on the top half of the wall and the ceiling. Now on the lower half, we don't have the funds, nor do I find it really necessary to replace the paneling. The paneling is for the most part, in pretty decent shape. However, 1970s paneling is not my vibe. So if you watch the first part of the basement renovation, you have seen that we've removed all the paneling to check everything, repaired the leak, put the paneling back in place, and have proceeded to now prep the paneling to be painted. I would like to go with this board and batten type of feeling look as you would to the basement. So we are going to be smoothing all the grooves out. I'm using this cover stain here to cover the panels and to prevent any of the stain penetrating into the room. And then Nate and I really toyed around with what color we wanted to paint the paneling, because as much as like we're okay with doing a neutral, we couldn't find a neutral color that we really vibed with. We didn't want to go dark either, like doing like a black that, you know, would be timeless. So we gravitated towards a color that we use a lot in our home, and that is blues. And what made us decide to go with this blue called Garden Vista is actually is like this marble type of painting that my friend did for us. We love this painting. We actually want to get it professionally framed for the space now. It's always just been on the canvas. It went to Korea with us. I'm trying to incorporate artwork slowly over time into my home that has meaning. Our friend going out of her way to make this for us in the colors that we liked at the time and still continue to like at this time, really like did it for us. So we are painting the paneling Garden Vista, which I'm really excited about. Once the paneling is all smoothed out, then I am going to go in with trim, and I'm using the original trim that the homeowner had on the top, as well as adding to it to trim out the top really nicely. And then to give it that board and batten look, I'm going to be using this trim from Home Depot that has like a little bit of texture, just to give it like a little bit of more of a traditional feel rather than, I believe board and batten's like more of a colonial thing. What really made me want to go with like this textural trim is I actually found a TikTok, and I'll insert this girl's kitchen. I saw her trim and I'm thinking original paneling, and I was like, oh, I want that. But I can't have that exactly because obviously like I need to add something to it, and that is more like included already in the way the paneling is. So how can I achieve that look without having exactly that product? And I think it's going to be really pretty, and I'm so excited for it. The baseboard will also then be painted to match the trim, just giving it a overall really clean and modern look with our new flooring. So let's get into the flooring. The flooring now has been on a little bit of a journey. We knew moving into the space, moving into this home, we were going to put all new flooring downstairs. That was like hands down, that's going to happen sooner than later. Just again, weren't prepared for it to be this soon. We moved in to the place late November, early December, had Christmas immediately afterwards. January was kind of a no spend month, just trying to kind of catch our breath from moving and holidays back to back like that. And we were like, oh, we'll dive into this stuff come like March and April. Nope, life had another plan for us, of course. We knew the flooring was going to happen. So I had 3 different companies come out and give me quotes for both the vinyl plank flooring as well as carpet. Ultimately, we decided that the vinyl plank flooring was going to be the best move for us. I couldn't find a carpet within the price range we were looking at that was close enough to the carpet that we already had here in the house. I didn't need it to be matchy-matchy, but I definitely wanted it to look very similar and have a very similar feel. There's no vinyl plank flooring in the house that I have to match. However, I will have to later down the road match other wood elements. I do want the wood elements in my home to correspond with each other. They don't have to be matchy-matchy, but within the same realm of looking similar, I guess you would say. We had a company come out and kind of showed us the different vinyl plank floorings here in the house, which was really nice because I didn't have to like get a ton of samples and bring the samples home. They just brought the samples right to us. Fun fact, this company was with Home Depot. So it was all of the products that you can go see at Home Depot. But ultimately we decided, in case something was to ever happen again, whether it's with us or a future homeowner, that vinyl plank flooring would be the way to go. The reason being is it's a lot easier to just pull up a section of the vinyl plank flooring than it is to rip up the whole entire carpet or get the carpet in, professionally cleaned to prevent any water damage, where the vinyl plank flooring is much easier for DIYers to, replace if need be, or possibly, we've talked to a couple of professionals and they're like, as long as the boards themselves don't get damaged, you could, and you catch any water issues early, you could essentially pull it up, let it dry, correct the issue of what's causing the water issue, and put the flooring back down. Or there's a particular area in the basement that is kind of like, feels almost like an inlet of the room because of the way the room kind of is. I think it's going to be a perfect place to do some built-ins. So we have been toying around and I've been scouring Pinterest to kind of come up with a way how I can incorporate built-ins for the TV while utilizing the structure of the space. What I have determined is this. My lovely little dirty sketch. Sorry, it's a little faded, but you'll get the idea. So what we're going to do is I've measured the space where the TV is going to go. This little jut out here, I'll insert a picture of like what it looks like, is our air duct system, like for our AC. I can't do anything about that wall. It comes down, so we're going to actually do built-ins from there down. Nathan requested some closed storage just to hide some things, but I wanted some open shelving to display and decorate, obviously, the TV. Now, how we're going to make this work is on this side here. I have it drawn as a cabinet for reference, but there's not going to be any handles on it. It's just going to be a push to open space, so it's a little more like smoothed out. But this is going to be painted white to match this. That is the ceiling, technically painted white. Not quite sure what I want to do here. That's going to be more like the color wise is going to be determined. I might keep all of this white. I might do this to match this feature down here. The built-ins, however, I really love the look of the built-ins matching the board and batten. So therefore, kind of a bold move, but I'm vibing with it, I'm digging it. Our built-ins are going to be also the Garden Vista color. So my father is going to help because I've never built cabinets before. He is going to come down and help me get the structure of the cabinet built, and then that way I can go in and do all of the finishing details. All right, so we've talked about the walls, we've talked about the built-ins, we've talked about the flooring. This is where my vision's going. Couch, we are going to keep our current gray couch. You guys have seen it in quite a few videos. It is still holding strong for us. Eventually we might upgrade our couch. I don't know yet. We'll see. But let's talk about shopping and like some things I want to see in the space. So the way the room kind of is, we will have, like, this is our floor plan. In the floor plan, you have what is going to be our new built-ins. Obviously, I can get lots of pretty decor pieces, kind of even have like a rotational of decor, because I like to mix things up. I like to decorate for seasons, stuff like that. This is going to be the perfect element for that. These built-ins also are going to be backlit, most likely with RGB lights, which, if you don't know, means colored lights. So I can keep them white if I want to, or if I want to sync it to my TV and the movie we're watching, I can totally do that. If I want to put red and green because it's Christmas, or pink to match my Christmas tree, I can totally do that too, which is kind of a fun element. That or decor things I want to do are windows. There's 2 windows that I will be dressing. They are currently silver metal. I want to spray paint them black to get like this sort of vibe. And I don't quite know exactly what I plan on doing for window treatment. However, I have looked at Roman shades. So I have looked at the Roman shades because the space that the windows are going to be the playroom. And I just think Roman shades are going to be so much easier. I'm going to either DIY them, or if I buy them, I want to invest in cordless ones. I feel like that would be the most perfect thing to do. Then I don't have to worry about safety issues as far as future babies, them being mine or friends. Like, I don't have to worry about cords. And then as well as I don't have to worry about her yanking on curtains, which she's, again, I don't have to worry so much when it comes to Annalie because she is really well behaved, but you never know. So I just think like not having curtains in a playroom for the time being is the way to go. We already have this set, so I'm going to set her cushions up in like a reading nook sort of formality when they're not being used to climb all over and to make pillow forts, because we definitely do that. And when they're just being stored, they're still being used in a purposeful manner. We already have a Calyx 2x4 cubed storage unit, so we will be still using that. I actually already have bins for it. I have baskets for it. These bins on the top that you see in this picture, I have purchased those. So I will be picking those up. And then I'm trying to figure out some wall art. So if you guys have any suggestions on some cutesy wall art, let me know. I definitely have thought about letting her make stuff. I really like this like beaded garland. I think this would be also a really good DIY. I already have all but the pins for this, so I feel like that would be a really good option to hang her artwork. I've seen the picture frames where you like open them and you can put their artwork in that. And then if you watched my first video, you would also see that my child decided to help with smoothing out the paneling, therefore getting into the joint compound. So I actually just let her have at it at a canvas. I'm going to let her paint that said canvas, and that will be utilized as artwork in some sort of manner in her playroom. We're going like as much as possible light and neutral, but with moody accents to kind of ground the space. And so I'm really excited for how this is turning out. There's quite a few DIYs that we'll also be doing, both for like my office space to kind of camouflage my Alex drawers. It's not just renovating the basement. It will also be some DIYs and smaller projects along the way. I'm hoping that I can get all of this done in a timely manner, but we will see. And there might be like one or two things that once I do the reveal or once we like get to the decorating, I might have to like come back to do. Like, I don't know. I'm very excited. I'm very passionate about this. This is what this is like one of the biggest reasons why we bought the house, is to truly make it our own and not feel like we're living in someone else's space anymore. So later down the line, we'll also be doing Nathan's room. He has like his own office space. I have no plan for that yet because basically he doesn't have a plan yet either. But when we get to that room, I will definitely be sharing that with you. But as of right now, we are focusing on the playroom, family media room, as well as my office space. And so that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it helped to maybe clarify exactly where my head is and what we want to happen in the space. Maybe give you guys some inspiration. If you guys have any questions, please go ahead and sound off down in the comment section, or even if you have any tips, tricks, maybe something I should look at purchasing. If you think of something that might be really fitting for the space, let me know. I am super excited to finally like, to put it in perspective, guys, from the time that the water leak to now has been almost a month, like literally a couple of days shy of 4 weeks now. And to finally start to see the vision coming to life is super exciting for me. And I like can't wait to share it all with you guys. So if you guys like home renovation videos, DIYs, beauty, lifestyle, and you've made it this far into me rambling about my space, please, please, please give it a big thumbs up here on the video. And if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you are, because there is so much to come. Like this year, I have so much planned, and hopefully there's no hiccups down the road that throw things for a loop. But that's why I didn't film the month of January and most of February, is because we had to dive into this project unplanned, but excited for the outcome of it. So it has been lovely chit-chatting with all of you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys very soon in a brand new video in just a few days. Mwah. Bye. Also, the next video will be part 2. So see you guys soon. Mwah. Bye.